It is hot out. Growing up here in Florida, I was always trying to catch animals. Lizards, snakes, fish, didn't matter. If I could see it, I'd try to catch it. But there was a rule that I had to follow. If I can't identify it, I can't pick it up. And I think my dad's logic was that if it was a venomous snake that I identified, I wouldn't try to pick it up. Natural selection hasn't gotten me yet, but still, I've never worked with venomous snakes. They have reputations as dangerous and sometimes aggressive animals. But in my experience working with things like sharks and crocodiles, I just can't help but think that's not true. The only way I'll know for sure is if I get up close to one. So I reached out to herpetologist and snake researcher Matt Metcalf. Matt works with Eastern Diamondback Rattlesnakes, aka EDBs, which are the largest venomous snake in not just Florida, but North America. Florida has 55 different kinds of snakes, but only 6 of them are venomous. The coral snake, the copperhead, the cottonmouth, and 3 species of rattlesnake, the pygmy, the canebrake, and the Eastern Diamondback. That's about all I know about EDBs, so I hopped on a video call with Matt to learn more. Matt, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I really want to know more about your work with the rattlesnakes, and I also really want to hold one.
I run the Southwest Florida Rattlesnake Project since 2015 at Florida Gulf Coast University. We put little transmitters inside of their bodies. So we're trying to learn more about like what types of habitats they use, where they go at certain times of year, when's the mating season, when are they giving birth, how many babies are they having.
That sounds really awesome and expensive. How do you generate the funding to keep something like this going?
We have gotten some funding from the university and from like some outside sources, and we do like an adopt a rattlesnake. So you can like adopt it, give it a name, and then like whenever that animal is like either found again or something like that, we send like updates.
Okay, so if I wanted to adopt one of your snakes, could I?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you adopt one of those snakes. You can give it a name, maybe even hold it. Yeah, come on down and we can go find some snakes.
Oh, hell yes. With that invitation for a snake-filled adventure, I headed down to Southwest Florida. Along the way, meeting up with my friend Christina Wilson from Brave Wilderness, who's helping me film today. We joined Matt and his assistant Adrian on a field survey in a nearby scrubland to see if we can find any new EDBs to add to the Rattlesnake project. So far, no luck. Maybe because it's so hot out today, and there is no shade in this scrub. But we found some other cool things out here, and some of them found us. Christina, what's wrong?
This is the biggest fly I've ever seen in my life. Look at this!
Pet him. Pet the fly.
As we're discussing where to look next, Matt gets a call about an EDB sighted in a neighborhood not far away.
That's a rattlesnake call, so there's a rattlesnake at somebody's house. Do y'all
Like
want
a-
to go?
like a rescue?
Actual, yeah, so we're going to go relocate it if y'all are up for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, let's go.
Let's go.
Set out.
He gets calls like this often as a part of the Rattlesnake relocation hotline he runs alongside his research.
A lot of the neighborhoods around here are somewhat newly developed areas, which obviously used to be like rattlesnake habitat at one point. People find rattlesnakes like at their doorstep. We go out there and we're able to tube them, safely handle them, come out, hey, like if you want to, you can touch it. You can kind of feel what the scales feel like. When are you going to get a chance to touch a wild rattlesnake, right? They're super gentle. They're not aggressive at all. They are defensive, right? If you're coming at them, then of course they're going to be. Right? So we try to like push that so that people get hands on them. I think we've had a lot of success, a lot of the neighborhoods and a lot of the people that we've been working with. So it's a great aspect of the project.
The snake we're looking for must have already been on its way out of the area when it was spotted. We've searched the neighborhood as well as a few nearby wooded areas where snakes like to hang out and are finding no trace of it. I'm starting to think I might not get my chance to hold a rattlesnake today. But Matt has a surprise for me. His team is releasing one of their captured EDBs today. He unloads a big blue buzzing box from his car. And when he opens it up, I finally lay eyes on the snake I've been waiting so long to see. It's an Eastern Diamondback. She's pregnant, and she is feisty. She has a tracker implanted in her by Matt's lab, which will allow the team to see where she goes and how she behaves in the wild. This kind of information is really important because it's currently unknown how Eastern Diamondback rattlesnakes use habitats. Do they share territory with other snakes? How many snakes are there per acre? We simply don't know any of this, and Matt's research is providing answers to these questions for the first time in history.
Eastern Diamondback rattlesnakes have not really been studied very well. A lot of their research on this species has been about their venom. There is also disease concerns. There's a lungworm that was introduced from Burmese pythons that got into our native snakes. Although we've seen these population declines for decades, they still have no protection status at all. I would say the number one concern would be that we just don't know enough about them.
Matt safely tubes the snake to check on her new implant. Our snake is looking healthy and she's ready for release. But before we do that, Matt drops another surprise on me. This is the snake I'm adopting.
So she will like wiggle around a little bit. Okay. So you want to have like 2 fingers on the body and 2 fingers on the tube. Okay. You just don't want her to back out. There you go. You got it. And so she will like kind of writhe around a little bit. You just want to make sure you keep that. I don't want to squeeze her too hard. Yeah.
All right, tell us a little bit about this. How does this feel right now? Is this your first time holding a rattlesnake?
This is my first time holding a venomous snake, so I'm pretty excited about this. And thanks for the supervision on here. And this is definitely a very impressive snake to be holding for the first time. I mean, she's a lot heavier than she looks.
Yeah.
And that's really cool, but it's neat to be able to see her face here right next to mine and be able to hold her. I can't get over how soft she is. She's not fluffy or anything, but she is very soft in a way that I wasn't expecting her to feel.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. And I've got the rattle right here. This is just, this is awesome. So.
Are you nervous at all?
No. I'm under great supervision right now. I'm not nervous, but there is a healthy amount of respect that I'm feeling, and I'm making sure to watch my fingers as I'm holding the tube. Yeah. So
I am too, just in case.
Not nervous, but definitely a healthy amount of admiration and respect for this animal right now to make sure that I'm handling her correctly. So thank you.
Yeah,
they're
so cool.
Since I'm adopting her, she's gonna need a name. Matt talking about his community has given me an idea for my own community, you, to help me name our new limbless child. If you want to help name our new rattlesnake, leave your name suggestions in the comments below, and I'll let you, the viewers, vote on a name for her in the community tab.
Wow, she is so beautiful. I can't believe you're mine now.
All right, Zach, it's time to let her go. Sorry. Back to the wild.
It's where you belong.
Okay. Yeah, it's time.
As we release my newly adopted snake child back into the wild, I reflect on my experience today. 1/3 of people on Earth have a fear of snakes. But if you look closer, you'll see that she is so much more. She has a gorgeous pattern. She has soft, velvety skin. Of course, she is dangerous. I wouldn't be handling this snake if it wasn't for Matt and if this snake wasn't in a tube. But she is not a threat to the average person.
We take up a lot of space, and a lot of that space was wild at one point. So not only losing that habitat, but they're also having fragmented habitats, which means they are now having to cross roads. Snakes are not well designed to cross roads. They're really easily hit by cars, and people will also intentionally hit snakes. Just general fear, misunderstanding, and like cruelty of snakes, especially venomous snakes.
Only 3 people have died from an EDB bite in the last 20 years in Florida. Everywhere you look, there's a new housing development, leveling wooded areas and destroying the wild places that EDBs and other snakes call home. And if a displaced snake wanders into a neighborhood like, "What are you doing in my swamp?" If it gets found by people, it usually gets killed. Who knows how many snakes, how many lives, and how many stories have ended because of someone's fear. Snakes are important. They eat bugs and rodents we don't like to have around our homes. They're an important food source for birds of prey and even other kinds of snakes. If we can look past the fear and get to know these snakes, I think we can all find something we can learn to love.
I'm Zak Cole. This is the Eastern Diamondback Rattlesnake, and thanks for checking out what makes Florida so wild.
I want to give a special thanks to Matt and Adrian for bringing Christina and I along to cover their rattlesnake project. If you want to adopt and name your own rattlesnake from Matt's project and support Eastern Diamondback research, there's a link along with some of Matt's research and Instagram in the description below. And thanks to Christina Wilson for helping me film. Please consider subscribing, and I'll catch you on our next adventure.